Carried. Thank you very much. Councillor Themeliotis, the Essential Services Commission. Hang on a second. Let me just put your microphone on. Go.
One minor update to the motion, which is now highlighted. It was brought to my attention that council hasn't actually made a decision on where those costs will come from. So before I debate, can I ask two questions?
Yes.
What is the estimated cost to council for this service? How much do we expect ESCOSA will charge us?
The bird is on her way.
Thank you.
So through the Mayor, the estimated cost that we have been provided verbally is $154,000 for City of Onkaparinga.
Can I ask how they base that cost?
My understanding is that they're basing that cost on LGA subscriptions. The original model was that the total amount of the scheme would be divided equally between the 68 councils to a cost of about $52,000 each. But upon release of the final framework, our understanding from the councils who are currently going through the reporting to ESCOSA is that they are basing it on LGA subscriptions, which essentially is indicating that the bigger council you are, the more that you will pay.
And that was 154,000. Thank you. And second question, and I assume you've only just found out about this, but is council budgeted for this?
So our turn to report to ESCOSA is through the 23-24 year. So we'll be identifying this cost as a budget pressure in our 23-24 budget.
All right. So it's fair to say that we don't know how we're going to pay for it right now. It's a pressure of ours and we need to seek.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay. I'll debate really, really briefly because I think the questions really just highlighted the main issue here that a lot of councils are going to have.
Just before we go into debate, do we have a seconder? Councillor Fisher.
I'll second it, but I've got some questions after I hear debate.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'll debate really, really briefly. Thank you, Mayor. This is highlighting an issue that a lot of councils are going to face. So as a council, what we decided to do is we started a transparency portal. I think we were the first council in South Australia to do this because we wanted to be transparent with our community. We wanted our residents to be able to go online and seek all information that they required and to ask questions, to report back to councillors, to share any issues. And the transparency portal, the good thing about it is when councillors pick up issues or residents pick up issues, that portal can constantly be updated with more and more information as required, dependent on what sort of information our residents want to seek. Further to that, the former state government introduced a website that they initiated themselves, which was a comparison website, which has got, again, all the information on every single council. And then you can do comparisons on each council based on budget, based on spend, based on a load of different factors. Those are both in place, accessible to everyone. This is another layer on top. And I don't even think ESCOSA, not to be offensive to them, but I don't even think they're prepared for what's sort of coming their way and know exactly what is being asked of them. I don't think it's very, very clear. But what's being asked of us is $154,000. Now, I think it was Burnside that made a big fuss. I think they're up for $45,000. And that's nothing compared to what we're at. What that means for us, and we've just heard that we're going to have to sort of find where that money is going to come from. Well, where does that money come from? Does it come from Councillor Eden's pathways? Does it come from Councillor Dew's parks or reserves? What do we have to do? We have to sell something to pay for that. I know these all sound really extreme, but what it's going to do is it's a hit to our community to pay for this, which was put on us by the former state government. And I don't think that's good enough. I think we've got a new government now. We've got a refreshed look at our state, that the new government should really be taking a look at what the old government did and seeing what is worthy and not worthy. And we've got a local government minister who was a former councillor who should actually know, or a former mayor, who should be well versed in the pressures of council. Elected members, when we go through the budget process, there'll be a stage that you'll see the pie, this pie will come up. And what this pie will show you is everything that's legislated, that we have no control over. And more state government and other people are eating my pie. And I'm hungry, and my residents are hungry too. And they're taking away from us. And those legislated items, we can't do anything about. We're supposed to sit back and say, thank you, state government, or thank you, whoever else wants to push things onto us. And we never push back. We never push back. And that gets me on to my gripe with the LGA, who are very slow at pushing back. So elected members, I think we need to do a little bit of pushback, and we need to send a message that we're hungry and we've had enough of you taking our pie, because our pie is going to be taken from our residents. And again, councillors, when you see the pie and you see how much influence you can actually have and the limitations, you know, sooner or later, local government, we won't need local government, because all the pie will be taken up by other levels and already controlled, and there'll be no point of having any community voice at all. So elected members, join me, get a bit hungry, let's get a slice of our pie back.
Thank you, councillor Themeliotis. Councillor Fisher, did you wish to speak and debate?
Yeah, I second the motion. We need to eat pie. A lot of what Marion brought up is exactly what my questions were. I question the worth of the LGA in this particular phase or this particular space, and other areas where we contribute based on proportional size, which is not equitable in the bigger things. So in the bigger picture. So I strongly second the motion and ask that the Mayor write on behalf of this chamber of our concerns of where the money's coming from.
Thank you. Any further debate? All those in favour? Carried. I look forward to signing that letter.